So, I know you're probably thinking, Cayce has officially lost it. Cayce is July, not Christmas. But, tis, my friends, it is Christmas in July. I was so excited to be invited to this collab by my friend Jeni over at Jeni's Scratch Made Kitchen. I didn't start doing a lot of this really until last year. Last year was the first time that I really started hee-hoing and prepping stuff for the holiday season. Listen, the holiday season is busy. And any way that you can take stress off of yourself and extra work by prepping ahead of time is better, right? So today on this video, I am gonna be doing a pecan pie in a jar along with the pie crust in a jar. Now I've done a video on the pie crust in a jar before. I'll leave it right up there. I'm gonna go more into depth in this video than I did in the other video. But this way, I'm gonna get a couple of the jars prepped, put up in my pantry, so when holiday season rolls around, and y'all, the way the months are flying by, it's gonna be pretty soon. I can grab it out, I can make the dough, I can pop that pecan mixture right on top of the pie crust, bake it, and then it's a simple, easy, convenient pecan pie. I'm also gonna show you how to rehydrate the jars on this video today. Make sure I will leave in my bio notes the schedule of all of the wonderful channels that have joined in this Christmas in July. You'll definitely want to go and check all of the great things that they are prepping for the holiday season out. Be sure you like and leave them a comment. Get us all in the algorithms. Y'all know the deal. Make sure that if you're enjoying cooking videos here on my channel that you are liking and subscribing and hitting that bell icon, because it will tell you anytime that I have new videos that drop on my channel. So, enough blahing. Let's head into the intro, and I'm gonna get changed because again, it is July and it's like 9 billion degrees. So let me get changed and we will start with the pecan pie filling mixture.
I'm coming home.
All right, so as you're getting your ingredients together, what you're gonna want to put aside is, because I'm not gonna put the recipe in the bio box, you're actually gonna have to watch the video to hear it straight from my mouth. Make sure that you have your sugars. Of course, you're gonna need white sugar, you're gonna need brown sugar. Little side tip, did you know that if you don't have brown sugar, it's sugar and molasses? Add those together. I will leave the equal parts right here on how to do that. But if you don't have brown sugar, that's how to substitute. You're gonna want to make sure you have pecans, of course, because we're making pecan pie filling. We get our pecans and we freeze them from a local farm here in Sparta where we live, Jolly's Pecan Farm. So that is what I'm using. You're gonna need 4 cups of apple juice. Now we have a pear tree that produces very well on the homestead, so that's what I'm using today is pear juice. Apple juice, pear juice can go kind of intermittently together. I do have 1 cup of apple juice that I have canned, so we'll be kind of combining those together. You're gonna need arrowroot, okay? Arrowroot powder. Some people use the clear gel. I don't. I like the thickening agent as an arrowroot. That's just my opinion. Okay. You're gonna need some lemon juice. You're gonna need vanilla extract, and you're gonna need the standard holiday spices, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the clove, and the ginger. Again, as I'm talking about it, I will leave the written measurements on the screen, but let's go ahead and we'll turn around. Oh, I almost forgot. Yes, you're gonna need 4 hot and clean quart jars because the recipe makes 4 quarts. And you're gonna need 4 hot and cleaned pint jars for our crust. We'll get to that later. So we're gonna flip around, we're gonna start getting the mixture ready for the pecan pie filling. Alrighty, so the first thing that we're putting into a heavy bottom pot is going to be the 4 cups of the juice. Now, I can my juices in quarts, which is 4 cups right there. So if you're getting this recipe, that is one of the reasons why I do it in quarts, so I know kind of the measurement. I did mix the apple juice in, so I do have some left over, but I'm going to pour that straight into the bottom of the pot. We're gonna need 2 cups of white sugar. So I have 1 cup, I have 2 cups, Now we're gonna need 1 cup of brown sugar. So 1 cup of brown sugar. We have 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice, and this is what's making it canner friendly. All right, I got 1/2 a cup of the arrowroot powder. It's our thickening agency. And I didn't record it. I forgot to press the record button, but a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now we're just gonna 1/2 teaspoon all of the other holiday spices in. It's gonna be of cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, all right, with a wire whisk, I'm going to just whisk all of this up, and then we're going to bring it to a boil to where it thickens. It's going to thicken up really nicely, but I like to mix everything together before I bring it up to a boil to make sure everything is incorporated. You are going to want to watch it while it's on the stove just to make sure that it doesn't burn the bottom of the pan or burn the bottom of this mixture. Here we go, we're getting it all up and nice. So now I'm gonna turn my stove on. I like to do it on like 2 notches from the high. We're gonna bring it up to a boil and let it thicken. So I will be back once it gets nice and thick. All right, so it has started lightly bubbling, and I want to kind of show you, I don't know if y'all can see on the camera, maybe if my hand wasn't in the way. It's starting to thicken up. And that's what we want. We want it to bubble and thicken like a syrup, like a jam or jelly, yeah? And as we're letting it do that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to measure out 3.5 cups of the pecans. And we're going to fold them in. Folding just basically means with a spoon, fold it this way, fold it this way. You're folding it like you're folding a blanket. So we're gonna let this bubble a little bit more, thicken up, and then we're gonna pour in 3.5 cups of the pecans. Now that's it. Now we're just going to fold them in. See how I'm just like I'm folding a blanket? Folding in. And I didn't mention before, but I like to crush my pecans a little bit in that bag before I put it in. All right, go ahead and turn this off, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start filling up our quart jars. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ladle it into my clean jars. Go. So just to correct myself from what I was saying at the very beginning of the video, it actually makes 2 quarts. 2 quarts. When I did it before, doubled it. Way to go, Cayce brain. But you get 2 quarts. So now what we're gonna do, since they have an inch of headspace, is we're gonna go ahead and clear it, the rim with some white vinegar, and we're gonna put our lids and rings on. And y'all guessed it, I put it into my pressure canner. I know I'm such a rebel. So I'm gonna do 4 cups or a quart in here, and then I'm gonna do a gulp of vinegar, distilled vinegar. And that just keeps the jars nice and clean. And don't be a Cayce and use your grabber instead of picking up the boiling hot jars. So I'm gonna put it in there, and I'm going to now close it. And see right here, you have the seal, that's sealed. This is venting. We're gonna leave it venting, and I'm gonna come down here, and I'm going to press my high for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna press start. So it's gonna search for a while, and it's gonna go, and what you're waiting for is E10, and we'll come back and talk at E10. And besides waiting for the E10, that's why I love the Nesco electric pressure canner so much, because it really is a set it and forget it kind of thing. Now make sure that you do know the time. The times are different from water bath canning to pressure canning. I don't pressure can the jellies. That's the only thing I really don't do. I do pressure can my tomatoes and my salsas. What I do is I do more of a steam bath with a jelly. Because again, set it and forget it. Plus I have a glass top stove, so canning is not always the easiest on a glass top electric stove. So what we're gonna do is we're now waiting for that E10. Once that E10 hits, it's gonna be a countdown from 10. Once it hits E0, you're gonna seal the button, then it will find the 10 minutes. Everything else, it does for you. So now while we're waiting on that, so let's get started in doing 2 pints of the pie crust in a jar. Alrighty, so next, what we are doing is we are gonna be doing the pie crust in a jar. Now, yes, okay, so you have your pecan pie fillings. They're sitting on your canning shelves. That don't make a pie, it didn't make a filling. So we're gonna go ahead, and one thing that I use that I always talk about in my videos, because I absolutely love it, and I have tons and tons of them in my prepper storage pantry, is the August & Farm butter powder. We're gonna be using that, regular flour and salt. It's a simple, simple recipe. Alrighty, so I misspoke again. That is why I'm gonna have all of the measurements on the screen, but it's not a half a teaspoon, it's a teaspoon of salt in each one of your pint jars. I use pink Himalayan. And I use my canning canning funnel, just so I don't make a huge mess, because y'all know in my cooking videos, I love to make me a mess. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a half a cup of butter powder. And y'all, the butter powder is so reasonably priced on Amazon. It is in my storefront, so you can just head over there and get you one. We're giving it a jiggle jiggle. We're gonna do another one. Going to give it a jiggle jiggle. Because now we're going to put 1.5 cups of flour. And y'all, that's it. And then we're going to seal it. Make sure each time you're giving it a jiggle jiggle so it flattens out. And that's what it's gonna look like, y'all. Now we're gonna get it sealed up, but let me go ahead and finish this one. All right, so now when you have both of the jars filled up, what I'm gonna do is, I'm not really wiping it with anything, but just a dry little napkin, just to make sure there's no powder or anything that's gonna prohibit the seal. and then I'm gonna put a lid on. For vacuum sealing ones, I use knockoff ones. They work just the same. They seal just the same. Wipe it off, putting the lid back on. And this is another one of my favorite tools. It's a vacuum sealer. You got the regular mouth and you have the wide mouth, huh? You need the regular mouth. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna put it straight over, just the lid in the jar, no ring needed. And it will snap in and press. And this is gonna suck it until it seals. And I usually do it about 60%. All right, y'all, you're just gonna pull straight up. And it's sealed. I'll label and I'll put this in the pantry. Now listen, if you want to be super fancy and put 100 cc's of oxygen absorber inside of it, you do your thing, Brenda. But I'm just doing it like this. We're just doing it for this fall, this holiday. So we're not trying to get like a 10, 15 year shelf life out of it, okay? Same thing for this one, this. I'm gonna press and then we're gonna have it all together. Y'all, so it has hit E10. So now we're gonna wait for it to go to E0. And then we're going to seal it up here and let it do its thing. Alrighty, y'all. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to seal it. This will come back on, and in a couple minutes, it will say your time, and you let it go. I will see you when we pull it out. All right, and this is how they're going to look. I heard one pop as I was getting the camera ready. Alrighty, y'all. So it's later in the day. I've been doing bread and everything all day, so it's time to bake the pecan pie. So they've been sitting. You really want to make sure that you let your pecan pie filling sit for at least 24 hours, but I ain't got no time and I want pecan pie tonight. So it looks good. It's a little warm. It all sealed, all had a good seal. And the crust is still sealed. Great, so what we're going to do is we are going to add this to some ice cold water and make it into the dough, the crust. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and pop her open. Oh, you heard that? Nice. We're gonna dump all of it into our bowl. And to this, we are gonna add 6 tablespoons of cold water. 6 tablespoons of ice cold water into here. And then we're gonna start mixing it and you'll see it start to form a dough. So bear with me, I'm about to go get some ice cold water and then we're going to do 6 tablespoons and start mixing this up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just start mixing it with my hands and it will start to form a ball. So here we go, we're going to start just like to whisk it around my fingers. Gets a little clumpy bumpy, but it's okay. See y'all, it's starting to form that little dough. Now what I'm doing is I am just kind of forming the crust along the pan. There's enough butter in here. You ain't gotta oil up your pan. But I will say that I am one of the worst at rolling it out in a perfect little circle. Just not my talent. What can I say? But it's gonna taste the same all the same. go. Just gonna even it out a little bit. All right, and we're gonna preheat the oven and we're gonna get it in. Yay, yummy. Oh, don't spill it, Cayce. Lord have mercy. All right, y'all, so I have my oven preheating to 400. I had to switch things up because it's bread day today, so I'm trying to get all the bread together. So you're gonna put it in at 400 for 10 minutes. After that 10 minutes, you're gonna bump it down to 350 and then let it cook for 30 more minutes. It's gonna be so delicious. I'm so excited. So I will be back with you when the pie is out of the oven and it's cooling. Alrighty, y'all, I hope you try it. Thank you so much to Jeni for including me in this collaboration. I had so much fun. I love to pre-prep in July for the holiday season with canning and all the canning stuff that comes along with it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you are liking and subscribing to my channel. And go ahead and hit that bell icon so you know that anytime that new content drops to the channel. Make sure you also, in the bio notes below, go and check out every video that comes out for the July and Christmas collaboration. It is such a fun collaboration and Jeni's amazing. So make sure you go over there and give her a like and give her a subscribe. I will see y'all on the next video. If you try out this recipe, make sure to tag me in it on social media. While you're there, follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of that good stuff, all at Ormsby Farm. And I'll see you on the next video. Y'all be blessed.
I'm coming home.